Hey, and we are back, and it is a very quiet, unpopulated Studio Bohagan right now because there is no one to my left because normally where she sits has been moved slightly to in front of me because there is no Bender, there is no Badger, there is only me, and there is only my wife.
My apologies ahead of time.
Bender and I are going to sit down and record an episode Tuesday for a pre-endgame episode, and then we're going to do a post-endgame episode that's going to be based on for our pop culture comic pod. And I didn't even bother with the guys on a holiday weekend because everybody's typically busy on this Easter day, especially
They always have excuses.
Especially being Catholics, that they have to do something. But us...
Well, only one of them is Catholic. The other's married into a Catholic
he's
family.
Married to Catholic. Well, his wife's Catholic, therefore he has to follow the rules.
That's what I just said.
Yeah, I mean, that pretty much makes him Catholic because he can't tell her no.
I'm Catholic. I'm not making you do shit.
Oh, I wouldn't do it.
I'm not practicing Catholic either.
How do you practice Catholic?
You don't have protected sex.
Oh, that sounds like a nightmare.
If you're a man, you touch boys.
Oh, easy. Easy.
You drink a lot.
We got that part down. We've been speaking of drinking. Well, let me get to why we're drinking what we're drinking today. You and I, like you had made a post on the social medias, on the Facebooks and the Instagrams, that today, being Easter and being Sunday and being a really warm day for this time of year, we did some yard work.
Yeah, we've never really celebrated Easter anyway.
Just egg hunts for the girls.
That's it. Yeah, I don't think since you and I have met each other, we've actually celebrated an Easter.
No, you mean like other than what we just did today?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's all I've ever did growing up.
I think once we went to your grandparents' house.
But that was just because
we may have done something with my family once. But
and I think those are just coincidences. We just had times to go down
there.
Yeah,
it was like, long weekend, let's go down to Joyce and JB's house.
Yeah, well, so what we did was we have this unsightly, overgrown, massive garden in one corner.
It looked like a jungle.
Yeah, and we tore out the landscaping tenders that's holding it in place. We destroyed everything that was growing out of it, and we're going to pay someone to haul off the junk, and then we're going to level that bad boy out and kind of give room to our yard. And that was a big garden.
Yeah, I'm done. Like, there's nothing more for me to do.
No, it's all me after this.
Plus, I hurt my ankle.
Yeah, tell them how.
I was carrying one of the timbers across the yard because I am all that is woman.
From my perspective, I saw you move with a timber heading towards the stack of where I had started laying the timbers. Yeah. I turned my back. I turned back around. Didn't hear anything. You just lay on the ground, and I thought to myself, well, that's great fucking help I've got today. Just laying down on the job.
So I think what it looks like is a hole, or I don't know what you would call it.
I searched the area. There was no hole.
No, there is a hole. It looks like something that maybe one of the dogs dug up for something, and I didn't see it, and I really did hear a pop, but I'm pretty sure I'm okay. But Caitlin was out there earlier and stepped in that, and it started sinking, so now she's convinced that it's a sinkhole in our backyard.
Oh, boy, that ain't good. That's not a good sign. I'll have to go check that out. Now you got me worried. Either that, or more importantly, there's a leak underneath there, because there is a water line that runs under that way.
So is our home insurance covered by land, a sinkhole?
I don't know how that works. We did watch one on TV. There was sinkholes, like some disasters across the country.
It was on TV. I don't know how much we really watched it.
Yeah. It was background noise. But
all that silly shit happens like in foreign countries. Like babies are born with like 4 eyes and 2 arms and their liver outside of their body in third world countries.
I do know a person fairly close to my family whose baby was born with the lungs on the outside, and the baby had all kinds of health complications and ended up dying. So that happened right in the Boot Hill, Missouri, which is almost
that's kind of like a third world country.
Yeah, it really is. So like. This is something that we talked about when we got done. You were like, I need a light beer to refresh me after this hard day of work. And I said, I'm just going to speaking of light beer, I'm going to get a Bud Light. And as much as we are a craft beer drinking show, or just a drinking show.
This has really hit the spot.
But we love craft beer. But I got to tell you, craft beer, it doesn't fit the hole that you need when you've worked out in your yard all day long.
No, there's something to be said about the refreshing crispness of a Bud Light or any Budweiser.
Maybe just the lack of complexity and the coldness and the fact that we're still having beer. And you can fight me for this, people, but you don't need craft beer after a hard day of yard work. You need a Miller.
It feels like a waste.
Yeah, you need a Miller Lite, a Bud Light, maybe Coors Light. I don't care. Maybe Coors Banquet. I don't know what it is, but
Bud Heavy. I don't know. It doesn't even have to be a light.
Whatever you want, but a Bud Light's the way to go. And I think this marks the second straight episode I've drank domestic Macro Brews. I had it for mine and Tom's baseball episode. I drank a Tall Boy.
Was that for the theme? Like, was that your theme?
It just happened to I looked in my cooler after softball the next morning. I was like, I'll be damned. Somebody left a Tall Boy in my cooler. And I'm like, that's going to work perfect for me and Tom tomorrow.
Somebody got home that night and was like, God damn it, where's my Tall Boy?
I guess...
Was it Schlitz's or Colt 45? No,
yeah, it was Schlitz's give you the shitzes. That's how that should be their motto. You and I, one thing that I guess our daughters do as well as find Easter eggs, it's pretty much a kind of a annual tradition for them. They go camping with your dad and your stepmother wherever they go camping every year. So usually of late it's been real close by, like in driving distance, like 10 minutes away from our house.
Yeah, which is fine.
But so they went and did that. So that gave us not an impromptu because we kind of knew it was coming, but a couple's night. And we opted to not go out. We opted to stay in. And your husband cooked you a meal.
He did. It was delightful, people.
It was pepper and cheddar stuffed chicken with bacon wrapped around it. It was good. It was very good. I enjoyed it. And then we had a salad with that. And it was wine night. And we'd had wine night. And I said, hey, if we're going to stay home and drink some wine, let's watch a couple of movies. And when you and I don't have a plan, we usually find these movies on the fly. So I guess that's what we're going to talk about a little bit. And I do have a couple other things to talk about this episode. But I figured we'd give our reviews on these movies. And let's start first with the old one, the one that we should have seen a long time ago, and that everybody related to the show has seen. Even our daughter had seen it, our oldest daughter.
Yeah.
And that's A Quiet Place, with the one John Krasinski directed, kind of wrote. He helped write. It was the first time we had seen it, and I tell you, I enjoyed it.
I did enjoy it. I did not like the fact that I couldn't hear John Krasinski talk.
He was so great as Jim with his
wittiness,
his wit and his sarcasm, and that was not the role he had.
It was a good movie, though.
Yeah, I got to tell you, it was. I think the runtime was like an hour and a half, but it sure felt like an hour.
You think?
It blew by to me. I mean, and as much as I enjoyed it, and I guess let's give a real quick out of 6 pack or out of our Universal Untapped scale of rating things out of 5. What would you have given the movie?
I'll give it a 4.
I'm gonna give it a 3.5. I enjoyed it, but I found myself as it was going kind of picking it apart a little bit, and I didn't want to do this. For instance. How the spoiler alert, you should have seen this movie a long time ago at this point.
If not, mute it.
Yeah. And I apologize if you guys are getting some static. I'm getting a tremendous amount of static on my recording here, and it's driving me nuts as I sit and tell you guys all this. But anyway, I'm going to ignore that. I'm going to fight through it because that's what I do. Okay. Like the St. Louis Blues, I'm tough. I'm a hockey player. But it so the end of the movie where she found that her father's Krasinski's latest attempt to his daughter that doesn't have it, she was deaf and mute. She had a hearing problem, but she had a cochlear implant, and I guess he kept trying to repair it. So when the monsters would get around, it would go off real high pitched, and it would even irritate the monsters. My problem is she was not allowed to ever go in the house where he was at and working. So how on earth, not knowing, what kind of education did this girl have to where she knew to take those headphones and put them on top of that mic to make that high-pitched shrill and kick it up? One, she's never allowed to go in there. And two, she can't hear, so she doesn't even know that's doing to her when she does that. So I was like...
Well, she heard the high pitch.
Well, only because she had those implants, but how did she know that taking a mic would do that?
Because the mom homeschooled them.
And they were brilliant?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well,
haven't you ever met homeschool people? They are the smartest.
We have one Lionhead Hikus, the dandelion. Now he is a homeschooled guy, and he's a pretty smart guy.
That's true.
He's the exception, maybe, because he's also well-adjusted. And no disrespect to the homeschool people that do listen and may listen to this podcast. But also one thing, there was newspaper clippings on the walls and stuff, and it said things like "it's sound" or something. I mean, it just...
Oh yeah, and then there was the dry erase board, and she quickly put like 2 and 2 together.
That their weakness. Now the dry erase board, I'll give them, but like the newspaper had time to print what was causing these monsters to attack. Like at that point, you would think the newspaper was gone. Nobody's printing that.
Right, and if they had time to print that story, why didn't they have time to just do whatever they needed to do to get rid of these things?
Yeah, and you pointed out from one point when they were on top of the thing, it did look like there were other neighbors that were existing out there.
But at the beginning, he was trying to SOS to other people around, and was marking off a list. Okay, I didn't get a sound from or anything back from this area or this area. I think the one area he crossed off was Tokyo. So I think, what did you see, like 4 or 5 fires?
Yeah, it was something like that.
So there's people local.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think one of the beauties of one of the things that was good about this movie, it's almost like you came in the middle of a story as opposed to the beginning or ending. And maybe that was the charm of the film. I mean, it was really an hour-and-a-half movie. There was
because we don't know how all that started, where these things came from, what happened. All we know is what happened to the family, and then what proceeded to happen.
And apparently it's been greenlit for a sequel, apparently, which I guess I don't know if you keep going with the family or what. But, yeah.
Oh, I mean, they could potentially do other families or whatever. Why do you keep looking at me? Can't I just talk?
There, it was your mic that was causing the static, but I fixed it.
So that's a long time for people to listen to static.
Well, I don't know if they'll hear it, but we'll find out. And I wasn't looking at you because I was trying to trick you. I was looking at you because I just noticed when you bumped your mic that it made a weird noise, and I'm like, there it was, and I fixed it.
So they could make sequels. Each if there's other survivors, that's their story.
Yeah, or maybe they go on a pilgrimage to those other survivors because they have figured out a way to hurt the monsters and stop the monsters. I feel
like that girl is just the safest person around. Like, you just stick with her and you're never going to die.
They get close to her and it hurts their ears, yeah. Well, but if they go kamikaze through there real fast at you, then they can take you out fast. I don't know. But all in all, it was a good movie. I give it a 3.5. I might lean towards a 4, but 3.75. That's what I'm giving it. 3.75. It was a very fun movie. Definitely a great movie. I don't know what else Krasinski's directed, except maybe The Office, but it was a good film. Mm-hmm. A colossally hard film to make with no sound for your first movie.
Well, yeah, you said it was a short. It felt like a short movie. It couldn't have been too much longer than it actually was, because how long can you have a movie with hardly any words in it?
Yeah,
that's just true acting. Everyone was acting with their facial expressions and.
And I told you, I'm impressed when like an actor can pick up sign. Like, how much do you have to learn? Because it's not enough that they show you how to sign what you're about to say, but you have to do it convincingly. Like this is something you've been doing your whole life to make it believable on screen. And I think that's hard, because I always wonder, like, when movies where like George Clooney or Brad Pitt's like a spy or something, and they can speak the other language, if they knew any of that language going in, or they were just taught that good for when they get on camera.
They may have just been taught their lines and how to say that so it's believable instead of actually learning. Yeah. I mean, there are, I'm sure, actors and actresses out there that learn, but I mean...
Yeah, but I'm always impressed for like when they can do that, or the sign language more so, where you come up and you look like you're actually know what you're doing.
I have a problem with the movie.
Oh,
and I said it out loud. On 2 different occasions in that movie, one from John Krasinski and one from Emily Blunt, they signed "Listen to me." Now you cannot say that. You're not even talking. You're signing.
Like, but maybe that's they don't.
I know it's just like a phrase.
Yeah,
but it just seems silly to me because they were like signing "Listen to me." I'm like.
I
would have been a smart aleck and been like, I can't hear you.
One of my favorite lines from Ghostbusters is at the beginning when they're in the library, and I think it's Peter Venkman goes, "Shh, you smell that?" Like, I'm glad I stopped talking.
And there's something to that, because I feel like if I don't have contacts in or glasses on, and you're trying to talk to me from another room, I have a hard time hearing you. So once I put my glasses on, I'm like, okay, now I can hear you better. There's something to that. I think...
That's one of the weirdest things you've
done. No, it's true. I've talked to other people that it's happened to, but on the other hand, like if you like at night, if you're trying to listen to something, you can't see, so that sense is down. Yeah. So I feel like your hearing is heightened because you can't see. But then again, like I just said, if I can't see you, I can't hear what you're saying. Oh. I know, it's silliness.
Who am I to? I don't wear glasses. I
guarantee there's people out there in the world that need to put on their glasses to hear you. Even you, Jeremy, with as loud as you talk.
Maybe the first anyone's ever heard of this. Maybe you just discovered something.
Nope, I've had conversations with people on this. Maybe you don't because you don't wear glasses.
I have perfect eyesight. It looks at you and it knows what it likes.
Shut up.
I know. That was so we gave that movie a pretty good rating, and it was a good rating. It was overdue. I know that's a little late in the game to watch it, but we had never watched it.
Better late than never.
So we had sat down and we were like, we want to watch a scary movie and a funny movie, and that was our scary movie, and we watched it second, so it was nice and dark. The funny movie we chose to watch,
I was really wanting to watch a ha-ha comedy,
real out loud funny movie, laugh out loud funny movie, an LOL funny movie, LMAFO or whatever it is.
Like a Kevin Hart movie or Tiffany Haddish or something, just a goofy movie.
So I just one thing I did is I Googled best comedies of 2018, or just to see what was on the list, and we found one list that had some more independent films on there. And as we were going down, we were looking on Netflix if these films were on there. And, of course, the one we stumbled on was, whether they were on Google, Netflix, or Amazon Prime, but this one was all about Nina, and it was on Netflix. And it's starring Mary Elizabeth Winstead and Common, among a whole slew of other people.
Which, by the way, when he talks, his mouth is weird.
Yeah, it doesn't move but he's smooth. He's super smooth. I kind of had I guess before we get into the film, I guess we could talk about, I kind of, about 2 or 3 tweets last night, professed my love for Common, I guess. Enough so that Tom tried to connect the dots of my love for Common and Bender's love for Idris Elba.
Who, by the way, DJ'd at Coachella this weekend.
Yeah, and he's got a TV series on Netflix about he's a struggling DJ.
Not anymore.
Yeah, but that's his Netflix series.
It's not a true to life.
It's he's a struggling DJ that's raising kids or something. I don't know what it is. But
back to Common.
So, but Tom's joke was, you guys have something ... in common, which would be funny if we both liked Common. But I felt like it was a stretch. It's still a good effort on his part. But I felt,
Tom and his puns.
He's a punny
guy. Yeah.
But still, funny joke. But anyway, one of the reasons I said that is because he's cool as shit in this movie, and I made the connection to, is he the black George Clooney, or is George Clooney the white Common? Either way, smooth dudes. Mm-hmm. And this movie though was mainly about Mary Elizabeth Winstead, and she was awesome in it.
I liked her. And I kind of want hair like her. I wish I had.
She really did have cool hair. I thought that through the whole movie. It was like, she's not efforting, and she looks, and I apologize, sweetheart, but she looks sexy without even efforting in the movie.
Right. I need that look.
Yeah. The movie itself is she's not, I don't even really see it as struggling. She is a stand-up comic that is earning a living in New York as a stand-up comic.
She lived on her own, so she was not...
Yeah, she's
struggling per se,
and a working comic,
right? And I don't know if you saw the car she was driving, but it was a newer car. I think it may have been a Fiat. It was a smaller car. It was like a smart car.
Yeah, but she was not broke, and she had to get out of New York because of an abusive, toxic relationship with a married man, and she goes to confront his wife. And she says, well, why don't you keep your husband in check and this won't happen? And she says, why don't you just get out of here? And she says, maybe I will. So she calls her agent, played by, I don't know the woman's name, but she is on Life in Pieces, and she's awesome. Which was funny. You pointed out that she was pregnant on this, and we're assuming that she was pregnant in real life when filming it, because last year she spent that amount of time.
Yeah, on Life in Pieces she was pregnant, but they hid the pregnancy because her character in Life in Pieces cannot get pregnant, so they hid her pregnancy. So now I think this actual character, she was probably like, yay, I don't have to hide my pregnancy. I'm proud to be pregnant.
And hopefully she didn't burst on set, because she was about to burst.
I don't know.
Well, so she tells her agent, hey, I'm going to, can you book me gigs in L.A.? I'm going to L.A. And she goes, yeah. And then she told her about, I think it was Comedy Central, but they called it Comedy Prime. And it was
just a building, though. It looked like an actual comedy store type place, but it was called Comedy Prime.
Well, because they said they're giving away a 1-hour special.
Right.
So I'm assuming that's what it was, Comedy Central. And she was going out there to try this showcase at the Laugh Factory to get on, but she had to get out there and fine tune her act. But she meets Common, who's just a normal dude
at her first show.
Yeah, unless there's a time lapse, we don't know.
Don't know.
They're real vague on the time frame in this. But long story short, she ends up doing great. She gets this gig, and then she has an epic melt because she's kind of got a toxic personality, and you learn why. And we'll hold the why. But man, what a brutally honest set that she did. I mean, and it was a rough scene, but she was just, like I said, she was a believable stand-up comic. She was believable as a person that had went through this trauma to put her there. And I loved all the ancillary characters on this, like the lesbian spiritual
woman she was living with,
who went to therapy while holding cats. Like it was hold a cat to make yourself feel better thing. I mean, I thought it was a great movie.
So part of my problem with her character is my problem with pretty much every female character or female comedian out there is I feel like they think that they have to really push the envelope to try and be out there and be somebody. Like, and because comedy, if you think about it, is really kind of like a man's thing.
Well,
not to say women can't be funny or comedians, but I feel like they're trying to push the envelope to stay even with the men. So that was her character. Her character was super like raunchy and like open about sex and her vagina and sleeping around and all sorts of stuff.
But then you learn that there's a reason for the way she is, and that's what I liked about it. Now, I will say to what you just said, like listening to Rogan and Chris Hardwick and guys like that, stand-up comics with their own podcasts, insert any of them here, they talk about how, there are more funny women now than there ever have been, but that's not to say that there never have been that many funny women.
Sure.
They just say that it has taken this long for women to get a fair shake because the ones, if you think back to the comedy boom of the 80s, like Whoopi and Roseanne Barr, they were they weren't
the norm.
Well, they weren't, and it wasn't because there wasn't funny women out there, but it was because executives wouldn't give them a chance. Right. They're like, well, these work because they're exceptionally funny.
And there was a character in this movie that was very similar, not to either Whoopi or Roseanne, but had that story. She's like, I was funny.
Yeah, I got my shot.
Yeah, I had my so... And it kind of touched on that.
Jay Moore's in this movie, and he is fat and disgusting. Not that Jay Moore's ever been a sex symbol, but he is as gross as he's ever been in anything. Because remember him, he was the agent that was taking over all of Jerry Maguire's clients. And
is he still married to that redhead?
I don't know.
Do you know who I'm talking about?
No.
It was some redhead chick on a TV show that was like a talking bunny as the lead character or something.
Oh, I know what show you're talking about. I can't remember.
They were married for a time, but I think their relationship was so toxic that they separated. Yeah.
Nicole Chamberlain apparently is. I don't. That must be his wife now, and that's her right there.
That's her. Yeah.
That's a strange wife. Yeah, drug and mental problems.
What's her name?
Her name was Nicole Chamberlain? Oh, no, Nikki Cox.
Yeah, I was going to say Nikki Cox, yeah.
Nicole Chamberlain's his wife now.
Yeah, and Nikki Cox was way too hot for him even back then.
Yeah.
But she, like I said, their relationship was toxic. She was a little cuckoo. Probably still is.
And Nicole Chamberlain was like his original wife before Nikki Cox.
So he's not married.
Not anymore.
Or if Nikki Cox is estranged, they might still be married.
They look estranged as a couple, like you said. So, who knows? Well, maybe he's married to Nicole Chamberlain now. It's hard to say. But Jay Moore, I'm never saying he was a sex symbol by any means, but when he was on Jerry Maguire and some of that stand-up back then, he's a really good stand-up, mind you. He was kind of a good-looking dude, but now he is just as disgusting. I mean, he was gross.
I never thought he was good-looking. Not even...
He was easy to put in those roles, though, because he was that good-looking car salesman look that that they could use.
I've never seen a car salesman.
You know what I mean? Like Ari on
yeah.
Entourage. He had that look to him, but I mean, he was t-shirt and sweats and fat as hell and hair gone. I mean, just disgusting looking. But and there was a bunch of other funny women in this. There was one little montage they had to do where when they were doing the showcase to try to qualify for this 1 hour special for who they pick, and they do pick Nina, Mary Elizabeth Winstead's character. They had to do characters, and they were all very funny.
Yeah,
impressions, and they were all fun. They were all believable stand-ups.
Yeah.
And that's what I liked about it.
I'm pretty sure all of those women were actual comedians.
And it was a good scene when she got it and how they acted, because they were all about to go out and party.
I'm like, fuck you, bitch, but I'm so happy for you.
But really, fuck you. But I got to tell you, I think I give this movie a 4 out of 5. I enjoyed it that much.
Yeah, I would give it a 4 too.
Yeah, it's definitely a Netflix must-watch. A side note of during all my tweeting about it and stuff last night, the director of it retweeted me and liked my tweet, and then she liked the people that commented on my tweet. Other than that, yeah, like so.
Everyone, all of you are probably like, "Oh my god!"
Well, yeah, like there was a all about Weinstead or something was the name of the Twitter handle, and it was clearly a fan club. And they liked it and said something, and then she liked that. Some film critic liked it and commented on it. Also, I guess if us talking about a funny movie with a strong female lead, a kick-ass dude in common, and all about stand-up is not enough to sell you, I was shocked to see Mary Elizabeth Winstead nude in it, and then the way she was nude, it was like. It's like Alison Brie did this on the show. It's like they don't make a big deal out of it. And these are women that, like, whether it's geek culture or have been going a long time, that you probably never thought you were going to see do topless scenes in movies.
Right.
They're kind of.
I think when she got undressed, she pointed at the TV like, "Hey, Missy, look."
Like, I was kind of shocked. Whoa. I was like, "That's her." I think that's side nipple. And
no, it was full on boob.
Well, no. When I pointed it, and then she stood up, I was like, "Well, there she goes." And it's. And then I don't mean to. If this is definitely not a shot at the actresses involved, but the way the movie is and the plot of the movie, it was kind of grimy. The way the nudity is in it,
yeah,
it's like it doesn't come across as a sexy nudity. That's not what they were going for.
No, they weren't even having. No one was even having sex.
It was post coitus, and then it was like her working on a routine, and it was just the way it was. And the routine is her routines are dark, so it was not like the kind of nudity where you were like, "Hey, this is." Let me rephrase it. If you are turned on by what was going on during her nudity, you got problems. But I don't think.
I'm sure there are people out there that thought that was hot.
And I get what the director was trying to do. This was how That's when she was inspired, because something ugly had just happened to her.
Oh, for sure. You could tell by her comedy that she took all the darkness in her life and turned it into something that people could laugh at. I guess that was her way of trying to cope with her life.
Yeah.
Which is kind of shitty. But she had a counselor too, as well.
Yeah, she did. And she had a big breakdown at one point and tried calling him and stuff like that. It was pretty good. But so All About Nina, it's on Netflix. I think I misattributed it to a Netflix film. I don't think it was a Netflix film. I just think Netflix has the rights to distribute it.
Right.
So
I don't think it was a Netflix film.
No,
either.
But it was just a good film. That's where you can watch it. So check it out. It's got a total score from us of 4 out of 5. We combined for that. So the other things that I brought today, there's 2 more things I talked about. One of them, and the only reason I wanted to bring it up, because of meme, you're going to hear the word meme twice in my topics. Kim Kardashian. There's been Kim Kardashian West. There's been much.
I wanted to play like I had no idea who that is.
There's been much made out of the fact that she is been training at a law firm.
She has to intern for like
3 years.
3 years or something.
And then
it's something really long.
She's going to take the baby bar, which some lawyers didn't know that was a real thing.
Oh, Savannah Guthrie, who was a lawyer, she was like, I didn't even know that was a thing. But, clearly she's been on TV a long time. So she might not know.
I will talk about that in a second, too, because that interests me. But she is going to try, because apparently California is one of the states where you do not have to
go to school,
have a law degree in order to be a lawyer. And Kim K, inspired by her, championed this woman who would justly so helped get this woman out of jail who's been in there for 20 years on a nonviolent marijuana offense.
Do you think if someone like me tried to get this woman out, like how successful I would have been, or how long it may have taken me to fight for this woman to get out of jail?
It would have taken you longer, but I think average people in this day and age have a better shot at making a difference in people's lives like that, because there's a lot of outlets and a lot of ways to be heard. But she didn't have to exhaust all of her options. You would have had to spend years exhausting your options.
And all my money to try and do it.
She just calls up Donnie. She goes, "Hey, Donnie. Hey, Trump. You want to just you want to? How about I come shake my big ass and you let this girl out of the jail? How's that work?" That's probably I picture the way it works for him. That's our president, right? But anyway, so she's going. But the reason I bring it up because one, I can't think. It's Step Brothers, the movie Step Brothers. John C. Reilly's dad is a doctor, and at one point, John C. Reilly he goes, well, eventually I'm going to go into the family business. And he goes, I'm a doctor. You can't just go into the family business. And it feels like a little bit of what she's doing.
Yeah.
I can't say.
Oh, because her dad was a lawyer?
Yeah. And one of the most high-powered, most financially successful lawyers of all time, aside from the OJ thing, which people associate him with. But he got that because he was one of the biggest lawyers in the country.
And he's also best friends with OJ.
Yeah. And, I can't say she's dumb. Like, I guarantee there's points that I probably have in my past.
No, you don't become a billionaire or a millionaire or whatever by being dumb.
Yeah, marketing takes intelligence, and she markets herself well. But she, for instance, the reason I brought this up is there's a post on Facebook today that I saw, and it was the time she tried her hand at the World Series of Poker, and she sat at the poker table with mirrored glasses, and it says...
Oh, dumb.
Yeah, and it's like it said every time I think of Kim Kardashian studying to be a lawyer, I remember the time she sat with mirrored glasses at the World Series of Poker.
That's a true story?
Yes.
Oh my God.
Yeah, there's a picture of her looking at her cards, and her glasses are there. People are looking over at her, and I think if I remember correctly, the commentator was like, "Yeah, that's stupid." Like,
wow.
So I mean, just. I don't know. It's a weird story. You think that you know what I feel? I feel like she's just stubborn enough and wants to prove people wrong enough that she'll go through with it.
No, I think she'll try and go through with it. I think that she thinks that she thinks so highly of herself that she probably thinks that she's going to be a successful lawyer. She is smart because she didn't get to be where she is.
Yeah.
By being dumb. I just don't know if she's smart enough to be a lawyer.
Do you
what is she? She's going to have to do what? Like, I don't know.
She's got 2
injury
years
law
left. Yeah, who knows?
I don't know.
Maybe she's
divorce.
She might. Well, she'll probably use it for like the things she did with that woman. I assume.
Let's be real. She's been divorced like twice, right?
I think you know better.
That's right up her alley. She should know how to get out of that.
But I doubt that's where she. I mean, because of the charity work and because of and that's probably more the avenue she'll go. But we don't know. I mean, we would have never guessed she wanted to be a lawyer. But let me ask you this: what do you think the percentages of her taking the bar a second time if she fails it the first time? Because it's a test that the majority of people fail once. And they say the California bar exam is one of the harder ones.
Well,
in the
I would
country.
assume that it would have to be, considering you don't have to get a law degree.
Yeah, you better make your bar incredibly hard if you're not going to go to school for it.
I guarantee she probably won't tell anyone when she takes the quote-unquote baby bar. Because
the baby bar. What a dumb name.
You know, if she doesn't pass it, then she doesn't have to say anything. And it'll just quietly go away. Like 3 years from now, no one's going to remember that she's trying to be a lawyer unless she talks about it.
You can't
So the only way we'll hear from it from here on out is if she passes the baby bar and then passes the actual bar itself. Otherwise, this is just going to go away, which is what I really foresee happening.
I guess you can't call it the pre-bar because that's the thing you do before you go out. You can't call it the micro bar because that seems like it's a small bar, pop-up bar. So you got to call it the baby bar because otherwise it's associated with drinking, which people are going to associate with Kim Kardashian anyway.
I don't know if she's a drinker. I really don't think she's a drinker.
Yeah, maybe not. I mean, yeah. I don't know. She's in shape, so maybe she chooses not to drink. Except, I bet it's more like Cavassier and Cristal.
Listen,
Cristal. She
has to drink to put up with her husband. There is no way you put up with that amount of crazy sober.
Yeah.
They're just.
It's been a long time since we talked about Kanye on this.
I don't understand how he has these Sunday morning services. Like, people in droves come out to these Sunday morning services that he puts on. He was at Coachella this morning at 8 a.m. giving a Sunday morning service.
I did not know that.
Who? Why?
Is he a man of cloth? Is that what he is?
Are you? You're ordained.
I am ordained.
But he probably was like, I'm going to get ordained online for $10. And yes, I am going to give a Sunday service every week.
Yeah, what a weird dude. Well, I mean, if you were out there and it was open to public, would you be like, I'm going to Kanye's church? I think we would. If we were out there with our kids, like, we're going to go. No, we're going to go check this shit out.
Oh, yeah. What kind of cult is this?
Yeah, just to see. I mean, this is crazier than Scientology.
Oh, my God. He's batshit crazy.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, he's the kind of crazy...
I've heard him talk before. I'm not even sure I could pay attention and follow what his point of view would be on anything, because he makes absolutely no sense.
Apparently, they are still going to do the podcast with Joe Rogan. He's still going to be on there, but you can imagine that Kanye's time is pretty fucking busy, and Joe's time's busy, and you got to get on the same page. And I know Joe does a podcast 3 days a week, but a lot of times he'll have guys that Brandon Schaub or Brian Callen or his buddies will be on there. But Kanye's a different monster, but
that will be an interesting podcast if that does occur, because
he chose Joe because he felt like it was, and after having the conversation, it's a safe place.
Well, Joe's very open-minded, even though
yeah,
he's super open-minded, but Joe also doesn't
hold back.
Yeah, bite his tongue. So I can't imagine what if Kanye wasn't making sense, Joe would be like, "What the fuck are you talking about?
What are you saying, dude?" So hey, more power to Kim. Good luck on the baby bar and the grown-up bar. If you ever get to that, I think she's got 2 years left of interning because she's quietly been doing this for a year.
See, quietly. She's been quietly doing it. And I would like to know how that even came out in the first place, how it came out in the news. So, her momager did it probably. She probably was like, I'm just going to let this go by real quiet. And then someone's like, no, this is great. You're Kim Kardashian. People have to know what you're trying to do. And then it snowballed from there.
I like that you slipped in momager. That was a good one. I like that.
That's what they call her.
I know, but she's a bit of a train wreck herself.
The whole family is crazy. I mean.
And I don't think... if she's worth $1 billion, it's got to be combined with her husband. But is it Kylie or Kendall, whichever one?
Kylie's the billionaire.
That's the billionaire, and good, more power to her. Being the little sis in that household, and go, oh, by the way, sisters, I'm the billionaire.
Yeah. Well, Kris Jenner is cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs anyway. She drove a man crazy. She married a man that helped OJ get away with murder.
There's a very accepted theory that OJ is the mother of Chloe, or father of Chloe, and that they had an affair. So
there's that, and then she married a man that wanted to be a female his whole life.
Yeah.
And now she's in a relationship with a dude that's 20,
younger
30
than
years
us.
younger.
Ooh.
I'm
is he someone famous or
no? Now? I don't even know who he's famous now. People know who he is, but I have no idea how they met in the first place. And I am not trying to be racist at all, but how is that whole family into other races?
Yeah, they did. I mean, who knows? I mean, everybody's into whatever they're into, I guess. But Scott Disick, he wasn't. I mean, he was the only white guy in that whole group of boyfriends, wasn't he? I don't know. I was going to say, I bet he is one of my favorite things, an internet influencer or our pop culture influencer. They don't even say pop culture influencer. They say Instagram influencer. Yeah. What a stupid term for a celebrity. Speaking of,
that's why these kids these days don't think they have to do anything. You just think, oh, if I get my turn on Instagram or YouTube, I'm done. I'm set for life. So they think they don't have to work, and that's why the fucking country is going to hell in a handbasket.
Speaking of influencers and internet and memes, and it's very good because this meme has a lot to do with you because you're cute. We went on a couple weeks ago. We talked about what I consider the dumbest meme I've ever seen. The roses are red, something in the Timberlake. Still stupidest meme.
It's gonna be May.
It's gonna be May. I mean, I like it. Timberlake adopts it or embraces it, but I just hate it overall.
I don't know if he has.
He has. He's done it before. There was another one I've seen popping up this week, and I instantly thought it was stupid too. And it wasn't until I was doing research behind it for the show on knowyourmeme.com, which is a great website to be rabbit hole it down. It's I'm feeling cute. Think I may ... And at first,
I've seen these, but I haven't really read up on it, and I'm a fast scroller through Facebook, so if it doesn't catch my eye right away, I'm not paying attention.
I've seen them from all sorts of ways. Like there's a pictures of a guy that works for a water company says, feeling cute today. Think maybe I just may cut your water off later, or things like that. Where I guess it started as a joke, because there was a Squidward one, and it started as a joke because, and we know someone who's done this. We won't talk about him on the air, but we know someone who does this or done something similar, and it says, it all come from the original post that attention-grabbing stupid girls more than anything. Feeling cute today, or feeling cute in this pic. I may delete it later. Don't know. Things like that.
Oh, that's the younger generation. Kaylin will show me all the time. It's like, oh, look at this post on Snapchat or whatever. Not Snapchat, really, because those go away.
Instagram.
But Instagram. And it's like, feeling cute, may delete later. Why the fuck are you saying you're going to even delete a picture?
Accidentally posted this on my Instagram today.
Oh, yeah, sure you did. But and then accidentally said typed out accidentally.
Yeah, and then you filtered, you tagged it, you talked on it. So I guess at some point, some funny UPS driver was delivering some stuff, and this was earlier in the year. He was delivering some packages, and he was near a field, like a purple lily field or whatever, and he laid down and he took a picture. He said, "Feeling cute today, may deliver these packages later." I don't know.
That's funny, though.
Yeah, that was funny. And so that turned me on it. It's making fun of what is the stupidest move that some of the younger generation does, these feeling cute things. Well, so then there's been a slew of them. Like I told you about the water. I've seen some other people doing it. Feeling cute today, may watch a Cubs game. Just kidding. I'm a real fan of baseball. Things like that.
Yeah.
But there's some people in some hot water over it. Correction officers, not just in one prison, but around the United States, are all getting suspended or fired in some instances. For instance, the one that caught a lot of attention, and it was a female corrections officer, posted her pics in her outfit, said, "Feeling cute today, and may shoot your baby daddy. I don't know."
Wow.
Feeling cute today, may put somebody in solitary. Feeling cute today, and this has gotten people in trouble. They're starting to get really reprimanded at their jobs. Stupid. If you're going to make fun of a really, really stupid group of people that do dumb things, you in turn can't be dumb.
I'm going to post tomorrow, "Feeling cute today, may delete somebody's whole entire network."
Yeah, you should do that. That's funny. But yeah, and these are not, the people that are posting these look like they're older people, maybe not our age, but in between the young generation and that one. God bless. I mean, how stupid are you, to post something at a job where you actually, sometimes there is life or death situations to joke about. I may just shoot someone today. Stupid.
I'm not even sure I have words for how stupid those people may be.
But I do like the meme. Just from looking it up, I do like what it is.
I think it'd be hilarious if you came up with one.
I was thinking about it, and spoiler alert for our Instagram, if you follow our Instagram, the Instagram picture that I edited earlier today, Feeling Cute Today, may ask you to subscribe to our podcast on this.
Oh, there you go.
So, and it's a picture of us dressed up for Halloween.
You and I?
You're in your... I'm in my wrestler gimmick, and you're in your stewardess gimmick.
I was from the one way, way, way back in the day, because you've been a wrestler a couple times.
Yeah, it's a go-to when I run out of ideas. So I thought it was funny, so we'll put that up. But it's a funny meme. I think based on a lot of stupid younger generation, and we have a daughter, but our daughter doesn't post things that stupid.
She only really posts nature photos and. Dogs,
peace sign. What is the peace sign up in front of your face thing? I don't get that either. You'll see the kids posting it, and it's right up at their grill.
I don't know. And then they stick out their tongue. I have no idea.
Yeah, dumb. Is she calling us? Or
no, she is texting, but I'm not going to say what she just texts me.
Oh gosh, I want to know now.
No, it's nothing.
Okay. But she doesn't do a bad job. She will take pictures that she's not supposed to take sometimes, when we're doing stuff or you.
Oh yeah,
I deleted it just right away. Then don't take the picture.
Yeah.
If you're gonna delete it, and here's a mental note for if I don't think we have any super young millennials or any demographic of 16 to 18-year-old girls or even 25-year-old girls, who we kidding, 30, that are posting those kind of pictures.
There's probably not many women that listen to this anyway.
They're out there. I feel like they're out there. If you're a woman and you listen to this, tweet us at PC Bombcast. Say, "I'm a woman. I listen to this. Hear me roar. Hashtag, not stupid." Because we're talking.
Not stupid.
I want to know that you're not the dumb one. If you ever post things that you say I might delete later, then you shouldn't have posted it in the first place. And if you're trying to grab attention for being cute, I got to tell you, just getting dressed up and walking outside usually works with dudes. You don't have to post a picture.
So this kind of reminds me of a conversation that I had with How Pow once, where we started talking about vague booking once.
Oh, yeah.
And I forget, it was one of your mutual friends that said something on Facebook that...
this is the worst day of my life.
Yeah.
I can't really get into it right now. Okay, then don't post that.
But here's the thing. It's my social media, so I can post whatever I want. And if I want to be vague, I'll be vague. And it's not like I'm out there trying to get attention because people will say 50 people could comment, and I'm probably not going to comment back.
Yeah, I still lean towards his side in this. You're right. You have the right to do anything you want on Facebook. But we're talking about, like, with these girls, and I'm not trying to make you mad or make it sound as bad as it's going to. But you also, if it is social media, so if you're doing something that people feel is being silly or foolish, they have a right to say that. So you're right. You both have your right to do what you're doing.
Yeah. No, I get it.
And it is, I for one, have thought that I don't like posting, like, oh, something super bad happened today, but I can't talk about it on here. DM me if you, that's even worse. DM me if you want to hear. That's saying, someone please talk to me about it, which.
I hate also, like, someone will say something and someone will be like, are you okay? Just sent you a DM. Nah. If they're that close that you can tell them without telling the rest of the world, why wouldn't you call them?
Yeah, call somebody. Yeah, call me. I'll talk, bro.
Yeah. So, I don't know. I mean, but I've had old family members. When I say old, they're like step-siblings that I don't really consider siblings anymore. They're like...
I guarantee they're not listening.
No, fuck no. So, they'll vague book, and I'll be like, hope everything's okay. But that's me fishing because I'm nosy. And then they'll DM me on the side, and I'm like, oh, fuck. You just took time away for this shit?
I just had my 6th illegitimate kid, and Dad's disowned me again. Yeah. And, oh, by the way, he divorced his young wife, and he found an even younger wife. Something like that. That would be awesome.
I think that would be hilarious if he left his 30-year younger wife for even someone like 40 years younger or 50 years younger.
Than him, not her, because that would be weird. Which is possible for them to be legal and still be that younger because he's a weird dude. Again, they're not listening, so it doesn't matter. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't think we're going to turn into a meme segment, but if we keep coming up with memes that irritate me, then I'm going to this is Jeremy's irritated meme corner, or we'll call it the old guy corner or something like that.
I just think it's funny, like, when I get bored at work, I'll just send you memes or GIFs.
I like GIFs. GIFs are funny to me, or GIFs, depending on how you accept that term. I think those are hilarious. Like, and done right.
We'll have like a whole conversation back and forth with GIFs.
And if it's ones, I mean, there's a bunch out there that everybody has seen that like birthdays are hard. You kind of recycle them. But if you hit one that's really funny and I've never seen it, it makes me chuckle out loud.
Yeah.
It'll do that. I'm down with that. I can't think any off the top of my head, but I can tell you they're there. Like, I sent one to a friend of the show, Stan, who we got to get back on here. It was his birthday a couple days ago, and I sent him a dancing Deadpool that says "Happy Birthday."
Was it him?
No.
Wouldn't that have been hilarious if it was his meme?
No, it would have been. Yeah, it would have been funny if I'd have sent him that GIF and he'd have sent back, "Hey, funny story. That's actually me." Yeah. I would be like, "No fucking way. That'd be great. I wish that would have happened." Yeah, so
he's humble. Maybe he didn't want to,
He didn't want to say, "Hey, that's me." Yeah, he's humble. He just posted a whole series of pics posing in front of a mirror.
Mind you, he said it was his birthday. It's once a year, and damn, for somebody that has health issues, he is in incredible shape.
He only has 25% function of his kidney right now, and he is 43 or 44. I can't remember.
Yeah, he's a little bit older than us,
I believe now, and he's a ripped guy. He's a big guy. He lifts a lot of weights. So yeah, and we want to get him on here because we do want to talk about and raise awareness for the kidney disease that he has. But also, speaking of ripped guys, I don't know if he competed over the weekend. I believe he did. But also, one of my friends, Big Mike, who is going to come on the show talking about his journey of being an amateur bodybuilder. He's a true bodybuilder. Like, he's cutting and I get what you're doing. It's to me, and I'm not judging them, but God, it looks so gross because they almost they're muscular, massively built guys that look emaciated because how they cut out all those carbs. And
so, talking about this, I saw that Steve Ewing competed this weekend.
Amateur one too. Oh, probably the same place.
Well, that's what I was going to say. I wonder if it was the same thing because he placed it somewhere. I can't remember offhand what Steve Ewing said, but he is in great shape. That's one dude that he was in great shape when I went to go see him when I was younger. When we were younger. And then he has really taken off with the bodybuilding.
And we love Steve Ewing. Like, we're massive Urge fans. We love the guy. Every time we've ever talked to him, I would one day still want him on the show.
For sure.
But I feel like, that said, Steve, please forgive me, I don't think he's doing the over 40 bodybuilding weight thing. I think he's doing the under 49-inch weight. He's a short guy. I know. I love Steve Ewing, but I do think he is on the not senior, but whatever it is. I think it's the over 40. I think it is.
Yeah,
but he is. Yeah, he's always been in great shape. Yeah. Always been in great shape. And I mean, the dude is going strong still. But it's but it's only now that he's gotten into like bodybuilding, like body sculpting.
I'm not even going to pretend like I know anything about his life, even though I wish I did. But
I got to think he eats hot dogs.
Well, how many of them, those shops? Is it 2?
He has the Steve Ewing hot dogs, and he's got the TikTok Tavern, which sells his hot dogs also.
And then, so he's got the business.
Yeah, he's got the 2 businesses.
He's got the band.
He's got the band.
He has a family.
He's got his own band, Steve Ewing Band.
Yeah.
Or the
so he's got 2
Acoustical
bands,
Jam.
a family, and he bodybuilds. I don't even know how this man has time to do anything.
Yeah, he's one of those guys.
No, he's not getting lean on hot dogs. There's no way.
He's one of those guys locally that people think about The Rock nationally. It's like, how do you keep doing? When do you sleep?
I just don't understand. Like, if we're going to talk about Dwayne Johnson for a second, I don't understand how he can have a functional relationship with a female.
Yeah, because he's on the move, traveling, bodybuilding, or powerlifting,
and I'm not
making movies, whatever.
Yeah, I'm not saying he's a bad dad because he posts about his daughters all the time. I just don't know how. I mean, this is a different kind of lifestyle. I couldn't travel that much and be away from my family that
by
often.
all accounts, anybody not named Vin Diesel seems to think that he's salt of the earth. They're like, he's the most annoying thing about The Rock is that you think he's a nice guy. When you meet him, he's nicer than that.
I mean, he posts videos on Instagram all the time when he stops and talks to people, like people that'll wait outside his gym for hours, and he'll be like, oh, I just passed these people, but now I feel bad, so I'm going to have to go back and talk to them.
Kevin Hart was on Rogan.
Celebrities don't have to do that.
Kevin Hart was on Rogan. They weren't friends before they started movies together, and now they're together. They're best buds because Kevin Hart's
I love when they talk shit on each other.
He even said
on social media.
He goes, aside from being stinky and big and ugly, he's like he's the greatest guy he's ever met.
Yeah, it's funny how much shit they talk on each other.
Yeah, so that's the topics I brought, which I'm guessing you didn't bring a topic, but what we can do though is because we're getting late in the show, we can say, hey, let's throw it to Missy and see what she's got.
What do you think about that new show I've been watching, Very Scary People?
I like it. For those that don't know, it's a reality crime show about different famous scary people, like the Zodiac Killer,
serial killers.
And whatnot.
Eileen Wuornos was one. Zodiac Killer.
But it's those shows with a twist. It's hosted by Donnie Wahlberg, and I like anything that Wahlberg touches.
So I'm not going to lie. I started watching the show. Everyone, if you don't know, my love for serial killers is ridiculous.
It's caused problems in our past, sleeping when I worked at the bar, things like that.
I may have an infatuation with serial killers, not wanting to be a victim or wanting to be a serial killer myself.
From the day I met you, you've dove in head foot, read the books in a week, and that's like I said, that's called problems. Like when I used to work at the bar, you'd be like, I am scared to death over here tonight. Yeah.
So, but the sole reason I started watching this show, which is on HLN, which I didn't even know was an actual channel.
What
I'm not
going to
lie.
For? That's
Home
History?
Life Network.
History.
I have no idea. But I saw that Donnie Wahlberg was the host, and he's like an executive producer, and I was like,
pro-Wahlberg
I feel
family.
like I need to watch this just based on Donnie Wahlberg.
We've been to Wahlburgers Orlando.
Yeah, but it's not the typical Donnie Wahlberg that you may see on any other show, or if you've seen him in concert. He is very like...
And he only does
chill.
The bumpers on the fade in and fade out is what he does. I do like the show because, like with the Zodiac Killer, they didn't pretend to draw any conclusions. They just gave you everything.
I don't know. I think with the Zodiac one, they kept. I don't know how they gave as many details as they did because, yes, there were survivors, but they were giving details on couples that had actually both deceased. And I'm not.
Well, that because
were the details from the letters that he was writing to the editors. You
noticed all
and
the
stuff?
people though were people that had wrote books on Zodiac.
I know, but where are they getting these details on a person that has never been found?
Some of those books were published in the 80s, so they probably interviewed people that were alive back then and stuff like that.
And I even said the Zodiac Killer is one of those ones that hasn't interested me that greatly over the years because he's never been caught. But it could end up being someone like the
like Ted Kaczynski, the Unabomber. That was a weird theory.
The one that Patton Oswalt's wife.
Oh yeah, the Golden Gate.
Golden State Killer.
Yeah.
So it could be something, and they even touched on that in this episode.
They said that gave them new hope and kind of re-energized the.
But that, I mean, I don't know. I don't know how long they.
So you've watched that one. You've watched the Aileen Wuornos. You've watched the John Wayne Gacy.
Yeah, those are the only 3.
Gacy's one of the creepy ones for me, man. He was a big dude. And he was a clown. Mm-hmm. And I'm not, like you said, you go, does it because he's a clown? I go, no, anybody that would dress in a costume, period. I don't care if it was Batman, if you were the Batman killer. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's just, there was something about, there's something about all of them. Dahmer's, creepiest. Good meme we saw a couple days ago in there. It said, Five Guys. I've been into that.
No, I was craving Five Guys before it was even
cool.
a thing.
Yeah, before it was a thing. Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah, I really like the show. I mean,
enjoy it.
It's got, like I said, Donnie Wahlberg. It talks about serial killers, but they really go in depth because they spread out these serial killers over 2 episodes. So the first episode I've noticed is like going into all the
investigation,
debauchery and like the investigation and stuff like that. And then the second episode is like kind of like the trial and their punishment, and in most cases, their them being put to death.
Yeah.
So,
so you usually put those on, and for me, they're kind of just background noise for whatever it is.
I know, but you said the other day,
I said I hate it when I get into these, and that one, every time you've had it on, I've enjoyed it. I don't know what it is, and it's not, and it is. We are a very pro, like I just said, we're a pro Wahlberg family. We've been to Wahlburgers, we watch their show, we love all of them, everything that has to do with them. And Donnie's like one of my favorite because he's comes across as so life-loving. So we're going to give it a chance because it's him, but I don't know what it is about it, but I enjoy the way it's edited, put together, and whatnot. It's very...
Same, yeah.
So I like it. So, if you were to tell people that new show on HLN, Very Scary People, I like the name. Out of 5, what are you giving it?
I would give it like maybe a 4.5.
Yeah, I'll give it a 4.5 because it's captivated me more than the average serial killer show that you put on. You like Dateline 2020 or whatever?
Yeah, I like Dateline. I usually put that on in the background for some, something to have when I'm working. Sometimes I'll get wrapped up in it, especially if it's a story that I've already heard about or know a little bit about. But for the most part, that's just background noise.
I do find it fun sometimes. You've put on these shows and it's been like the same story, but it'll be a different show or different. I do like when
outlook on it.
Well, I just like it. I mean, there's only you got to think there's only so much ways you can tell a story for the serial killers. But sometimes I like when I'm like, well, that didn't know that. That was interesting. Mm-hmm. I enjoyed it. Trying to think if I have anything. I'm going to throw it to Missy's segment. Have we started any new TV shows? Oh, Life in Pieces is back. We're very happy about that.
I love that show.
Big Bang is entering the home stretch. 5 episodes left. Mm-hmm. I got a feeling that maybe we'll probably in the next few weeks, after it's got its feet under it, we've only been 1 episode, but Game of Thrones is back. Mm-hmm. I enjoyed the first episode. It had a very lighthearted feel, which I feel like is going to be thrown back in our faces very quickly.
I think it would have been pretty badass if they would have killed someone right out of the gate.
Yeah, that would have been awesome.
But I also get it because it's been gone for so long, and it's kind of like a new series basically.
Yeah.
And so every first episode of every new series is kind of slow, and you actually have to give a new series a couple episodes to see if you're going to like it or not. You can't base your decision on the first episode, so they had to kind of ease back into it. There's a fucking shit ton of characters.
Yeah,
so we had to kind of see where some of those people were.
I enjoyed the culmination of the episode, all leading to Jamie getting out off his horse and seeing Bran for the first time since he pushed him out the window to kickstart the entire show.
Yeah.
So, that was good.
Yeah, there can't be too much of catch-up of characters considering there's only 5 more episodes. And I know they're not all hours. Some of them are a little bit longer, but there's not very many episodes for this whole season.
Yeah, we got to, at some point, we got to get going. Yeah. The accelerator's going to get pushed, and I feel like it's going to be buckle up, baby.
So... don't ask me this question because I only know about 3 characters on that whole entire show. But who do you see dying and who do you see surviving? Just in your opinion.
Boy, oh boy. I don't feel like both Daenerys and
Jon Snow
will survive. I feel like Jamie will because I think he's going to...
You think one from each family, basically?
I think I think of the... Let's just throw what we consider the main characters. It's obviously Tyrion, Jon, Daenerys, Sansa, and Arya. Mm-hmm. I would consider... Jamie, and obviously, what's her name? The main
Bitchy McBitcherson,
the main Lannister. And then I also would throw in characters like the Hound. I think he's back and he's a main character. So of the 8 main characters, I feel 4 of them are going to go.
No, I feel like only 2 main characters are
going to be around.
That's it. But don't ask me which ones.
Yeah, it's hard to. I mean, people are going to die. That's shit. Heads are going to roll. Mm-hmm. That's what it is.
What'd you think of Khal Drogo shaving off his beard this week?
He's had it though. In the last 10 years, he's had his beard off. When he was in the movie Conan, after he got famous, the beard was gone. So
but I think he's more popular now than he was back then. Yeah, and he's Aquaman. So people are like, "Oh my God, that's an iconic look! Like he's Aquaman and he's Khal Drogo."
He's a good-looking dude with beard or no beard. You know.
I like him better with the beard, but
you like me
I'm
with
also married to a bearded man. So.
Yeah, I'm married to a beard. I'm your beard.
I said I'm married to a bearded man.
He's a handsome fella. He's married to a Cosby, so
technically not a Cosby.
Whoa! I mean, I'm sorry, a Huxtable. She's married to a Huxtable. That's what I meant. He's married to a Huxtable. Lisa Bonet. So Lisa Bonet Kravitz Momoa, is that her name? It's gotta be her name.
I don't think were her and Lenny Kravitz married?
I don't know. They have kids, and the daughter looks like her. I mean, I'm not trying to be racist here, but literally those kids, you could take Lenny out and put Jason Momoa in, and those kids look like they belong to either dad.
Oh yeah.
They all look the same.
What happened to Lenny Kravitz? How come we never hear from him that often anymore? I really dug his music.
He was one of those guys where I kind of thought he was kind of rock light, but when his songs were good, I really enjoyed them.
I like all of his non-mainstream stuff, like American Woman. I like all of his stuff.
I like Garden. I buy this garden for.
Because I think all of his music has a different sound. And that's what I liked. Like all this, it wasn't the same kind of sound.
Not gonna lie to you. One thing that ruined Lenny Kravitz for me was his first big hit was "Are You Gonna Go My Way?"
Yeah. Oh God.
Someone said, that's a Jesus song, and I said, what? And they're like, yeah, that's what Jesus is asking you. Are you gonna go my way? And I kind of listened to it, I was like,
no idea.
Well, now it fucking ruined the song for me.
No idea.
It was a rock song. Like I was thinking, like he was talking to some chick or something. Now it's like, I don't know. Funniest still to this day, funniest Lenny Kravitz joke of all time is on South Park where they're talking about going to temple. Hey, look, half of Lenny Kravitz. That's a good joke. So I think unless you got something hidden nugget for us before we go, I think we're done.
Nope.
Okay, Tom, Bender.
Hold on. Let's go Blues.
Bender.
Fuck Bender.
Bye.
What? Just kidding. Under your butt.
Oh my gosh! I'm telling him you said that. I'm going to leave that into the episode.
He's going to listen because he only listens to the episodes his voice isn't in.
I will play the music and I will apologize to Bender as soon as I get up.
Oh, I'm sorry, Bender.